Hello YouTube, this is RV Granny. Well, today I've set myself quite a challenge. This is a huge story to tell in such a short time. But welcome to Soap Lake, Washington. Soap Lake is the first stop on the trip that we're going to take along the Grand Coulee corridor. It's a national scenic byway and it's well worth your trip. Soap Lake itself is about 2 miles square and 70 feet at its deepest point. The Indians used to come here and used its medicinal waters to cure their ills. In the early 1900s, the lake became popular with other people looking for cures for their illnesses. There was a sanatorium for people with Buerger's disease. Today there's a hotel in town where you can go and have lake water piped into your room. Soap Lake is only one of 5 lakes that are on this corridor. The coulee is 50 miles long, 2 to 5 miles wide, and the sheer walls are about 1,000 feet deep. This is why when the French fur traders came here, they called it the Grand Coulee, which means a canyon in French. The story of how this place came to be is even more amazing. It was formed by an Ice Age flood that started in Montana. The flood happened not only once, but many times. Places stripped the land bare, clear down to the bedrock, and these places are called the channeled scabland. The flood carried icebergs with it and then deposited them, and that's where many of these lakes came from. This is Lake Lenore. It's a popular fishing spot, but no boats allowed. This area is also a popular place for hikers. On the north end of the lake are 7 caves that are easily accessed by well-maintained trails. The caves are supposed to have been used for shelter by prehistoric men. Some of the shapes and figurations of these walls are pretty interesting. They were formed by molten lava. This is Blue Lake, a popular camping and fishing place. This is Sun Lake Resorts. It's a very popular place too. Reservations need to be made well ahead of time to get into this place. Next, we're going to stop at Dry Falls. Now, I think this place is just gorgeous. I made this video in 2008 to send to a cousin of mine. You'll hear me mention her name when we're at Dry Falls. Okay, it says these cliffs were
are the skeletal remains of what was once the world's largest waterfall. They bear stark witness to the tremendous power of catastrophic floods that swept over eastern Washington at the end of the last ice age. The falls began 20 miles to the south, but receded upstream through powerful erosive action, and the retreat of the falls gave birth to the canyon below. The lower Grand Coulee, with the enormous force of the floodwaters, spewing several cubic miles
Then
of
came the
rock
Ice Age,
over vast areas
and the northern
downstream.
part of the United States
Today,
was
Great
covered with
Falls
ice.
remains as
One
one of the most
finger of that
spectacular
ice
geologic
reached
wonders
down
of the
into
age
Idaho
of
and
ice.
created a dam. The dam closed off a river and all of its tributaries, and then it started forming a lake.
Come on over here and look at the edge.
Oh, Patty doesn't do canyons very well.
Well, this is a good way to do it.
The lake that was formed was called Lake Missoula.
All the boats down there.
Missoula, Montana, that's where it was formed.
It's good fishing. Just about every bit of water you see.
Lake Missoula was huge. It was half the size of Lake Michigan.
This is all a waterfall.
It's hard to tell by looking at it from this angle, but the falls is not a horseshoe shape. It's more like a W. There's two horseshoe shapes with a peak in the middle. Those little spots you see are boats. Next we get to Banks Lake. There's a great state park on Banks Lake that's called Steamboat Rock State Park. It's really a nice camping place, and there's a rock in the middle of the lake that looks a little like a steamboat, which is where it gets its name. Okay, there's the rock, Steamboat Rock. Don't worry, I'll come back and get the sign on our way home.
Well, you need to paint that right there. That's gorgeous.
Okay, now we're in Electric City. This is where the Grand Coulee Dam is. Well, we reached the end of the corridor, but I hadn't finished telling you all about the flood. When Lake Missoula broke through that dam, it turned loose 10 times the combined flow of all the rivers in the world and kept going until it reached the Pacific Ocean. A fact that they can confirm because they can see it from outer space.
Indians, fur traders, military expeditions, and settlers traveled where you are now standing. A major Indian trail passed at this location. Alexander Ross passed here in 1841. John Works Hudson Bay Company was here in 1825. The famous botanist David Douglas was here in 1826. Lieutenant Johnson of the Wilkes Expedition explored here in 1814. Lieutenant Arnold passed this point in 1853. Old Camp Chelan, Fort Walla Walla Trail passed near here. Ferguson Ladd Stock Crossing used in 1880 passed south of here. Old trail on west side of Coulee was named Okanagan Trail. American Trail was on the east side.
Come here, you. Give me that. Come on, let's go.
That was Bonnie you heard crying a little while ago. She can't get near water without getting in.
Bonnie.
She cries and lets us know that she wants something. We were getting a kick out of watching her try to catch the ball because she's used to us throwing it out a little bit further than this guy. He had pups and he was giving them a break. She kept looking for the ball, but she couldn't catch it because those pups were just too quick. Well, that's it for now, but I hope you liked the story. I'll talk to you later. Bye.